What's going on, people? Fulham 0, Tottenham 1, 3 points off third place. All is good.
3 points off third?
Yeah.
Is
3
it?
points off third, yeah.
Okay.
See, start coming believing, man. Believing. Big up to Brazen Ball. Welcome to Silver. If you do want to join us, the link is in the community section of the channel. Before we get to that, we've got some words from the players. Carragher, year after year, Harry Kane delivers. He's always there scoring 25 or 30 goals a season. When you think of the greats of the Premier League, the first division before that, he's one of the best we've seen. At the end of his career, he'll go down as Tottenham's greatest ever player. And you can't really argue with that, can you, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, that debate is open to a lot of people. Obviously, you got Glenn Hoddle, a lot of people like me. Paul Gascoigne's my favourite. He is in that equation without a doubt, especially in modern day football. I think he is right up there with Glenn Hoddle. I think he is right up there for everything he does. Obviously, Glenn Hoddle was able to win trophies and everything, but Glenn Hoddle was just a magician at the time. But Harry Kane is just something I'm very, very proud to have witnessed in my lifetime. He's a wonderful player, and he's definitely right up there.
Yeah, and look, words from Tottenham striker Harry Kane. It was a tough game, a really important 3 points for us today after the last two results. Not an easy place to come, playing against a very good side, but we dug deep. A tough week, but a clean sheet and a good 1-0 win. He goes on to say more, but the important message comes from Conte. It was a big win after two consecutive defeats against Arsenal and Man City. It was a really important win today because Fulham are having a fantastic season. If they won the game, they would climb up the table. For us, it was important to get 3 points, especially when many teams are coming in front of us or fighting for a place in next season's Champions League. We have to try and stay in the race. A clean sheet, and had a good answer from my players because during the week we spoke about the difference in comparison to last season. And Harry Kane also admitted that they sat down and kind of had a chat as players and kind of looked at where they are. And there was some interesting responses what Kane said after the game. But look. Yeah, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom. The Tottenham fans tonight were absolutely outstanding.
Fantastic.
Absolutely outstanding from minute 1 to minute 97 or whatever we finished up on. 264 of you watching. Hit that like button. But let's get on to the callers, Brian, shall we?
Let's do it. This is the fan show, and we're going to start with a very good friend of mine and a regular on the show. We're going to start with George. If I get my kit. How are we doing, George?
Big up, George.
Hey, all good, guys. How are you doing?
All good, man. All good.
Man.
So, your thoughts on everything today?
Well, the main thing is that I'm glad that look of concern has left your face, Brian. Basically, Nick seems to have just calmed down a bit, which again has just given me the confidence to come on.
Yeah, we had a little bit of words. I was like, once we finished the fan show, I was like, my God, what? But it's not. If you start talking about Emerson, I'm afraid he may go back to where he was. So yeah. But where would you like to start, George?
Yeah, I think Emerson had a great performance tonight. I mean, I actually have never thought he's been a particularly bad player. I just think that we're not playing towards his strengths, and his strengths are to be a more defensive-minded player. He's not a player that's going to get you up the pitch and put you in those perfect crosses. So, it is what it is, basically, with Emerson. Now, I don't think he's ever going to set the world alight, but he's not sort of as bad as people say he is, let's face it. And, we've got a win under our belt, so hopefully it's stopped the rot. And let's just try and get the next win and just try and build up a bit of momentum and a bit of confidence within the squad, because it's been sadly lacking, isn't it, in the last few weeks.
Most of it.
Yeah, it has, George. I mean, look, four wins in 11. It's not been great. I think we've all been in that situation in the last few weeks with everything that's going on. But look, we are. Like I said, we're 3 points off third. Obviously, there's some big games to come, not just for us, but we just need to keep doing what we're doing and moving forward. And look, if we said this time last year, we started to put a run together. Look, it's going to be tough, but a lot of teams are dropping points, and no one really, apart from Arsenal and Man City, are really taking that top four. Let's just say, by up for grabs and by storm, or I can't think of an animal. Brian.
We've had penguins, we've had wolves, we've had shepherds, we've had Noah's Ark has been in here tonight for Nick. But let's George. Obviously, we witnessed history today. There's a certain player now that is joint with Jimmy Greaves as our record all-time goal scorer. It's a fantastic goal he scored tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, Harry Kane is a class act, and I'm finding myself more and more disappointed that we just can't offer him what he needs, and that's trophies and success. And it's quite sad, really, that I just keep feeling that he has to move on in order to get that. It's devastating from the fact that, as a Spurs fan, that I've got to say it, but unfortunately, I think for him to now get success at this point in his career, he's got to move on. But I'm glad that he's got the record now, and obviously he's going to score a few more by the end of the season. So who's going to break that record now? I mean, it's taken close to 60 years for it to be matched. So no one's going to come along and have that ability that Harry Kane has and sort of score that many goals. So yeah, it's fantastic, but on the other side, it's quite upsetting that I just can see him playing his football elsewhere next season.
With this as well, we'll get on to Nick's favourite player shortly, because he does deserve a special mention. But as I asked Nick in the instant match reaction, I asked about. We spoke about the right-hand side. How concerned are you starting to be, or what's your feeling, shall I say, regarding the left-hand side? Because Perisic, again, I think the most fascinating thing he did all day was take a throw-in, and he couldn't even get it on the pitch. And Human Son, in all honesty, was lucky not to get a red card for that horrific challenge, in my opinion. And it was another lacklustre, apart from the assist, which, let's face it, wasn't exactly a killer through ball or whatever. It was a fairly quiet game for him again, don't you think?
Yeah, look, I think we're a bit lucky to get that win. The first half was just dominant Fulham, really. I mean, they just weren't clinical enough to put the game to bed, really. And we grew in confidence in the second half. Really, I mean, I think if Fulham had scored first, it could have been a bit of a different story. Perisic is a player who, for Croatia, plays up front practically. Yep. And to expect him to be able to defend at 33 years of age, he's just not. That's not going to be the facet of his game. How concerned am I? I'm concerned all over the pitch. But predominantly, that left-hand side and the left centre-back position is something that we're struggling with. I think if I'm really going to weigh things up, what I would want to see is more of a creative midfielder. I've always been of the persuasion that you put together a good attack, then the defence sort of just, it sort of deals with itself. It gives the defence more confidence to take a step up. I mean, look, you only have to see Arsenal this season to demonstrate that. I mean, last year they were very, very uncertain at the back, and look what happened. They've now got Saliba, who is, a man mountain back there, really, yep. And who's probably, I would say, maybe the best centre back, I think, in the league this season so far that I've seen. So as I said, it gives more confidence, I think, to your back four if you've got an attacking minded midfielder to express themselves, be more creative from the back. Whereas at the moment we just don't. We seem to be struggling with any sort of creativity in the last third of the pitch. Whether that's from confidence, I personally think that the tactics have got and the way that we play have just been sussed slightly by other teams. So they close us down, they become more aggressive with us, and we just don't like it. I mean, we could see today that we were constantly just getting pressed and bullied off the ball in that first half. We were second to everything. We were hesitant. Yeah, I mean, look, as I said, I would be looking more towards a creative midfielder to start this rebuild. But with Conte effectively looking as though he's going to be history at the end of the season, who's going to commit to buy what players now? So it's just difficult to see where we're going to head with all of this.
Go on then, Nick. Let's talk about your flavour of the month or flavour of the night.
The man of the match.
Do you know what? I am going to give it to you. I am going to say, do you know what? You look at it and let's face it. Did you see what I saw, George? That he was playing a lot more central today, as opposed to trying to get out on the wing to get crosses in. They kind of abandoned that, and his main point was staying central. When he was doing central, he was putting his. I got to say, he was putting in some good passes. He was trying to be a bit Brazilian Samba flair, but it certainly was a different performance from Emerson in a better way, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely more mobile. He took on. He ate up the pitch. So, it was a confident, more. It was definitely a more confident performance, and a little bit more as though he was fitting into a role a bit better. I think it does help if Kulusevski's on the pitch, although I don't think he was great today. But it helps with Kulusevski there. I think it just gives him a little bit more chance to be expressive. And look, it's a case of sometimes a bit of time and a bit of work can make for a better player. And he's still relatively young as a player, so you can see him being able to come on more. But definitely today, I think it may even be the best performance that I've seen him play today. So let's hope, fingers crossed. Maybe I heard a few comments that people were saying that it may be because of Porro potentially being a new signing, and whether he now has to play for his position potentially. Maybe that's got something to do with it. But certainly it was the best I've seen him play. I think in a Spurs shirt.
Yeah, it's like you said, maybe Porro with maybe him coming through the door potentially. Maybe we are potentially verbally about to agree to talk about that. And maybe Emerson has potentially verbally agreed to start performing. Who knows? It could all be in sync.
It's like we've signed another player without signing a player.
Please. Do you know what? I didn't want to start talking about Emerson during this because you'd get all like that. And it took off.
What do we need a right wing back for?
Moving on, we'll go. Let me speak to George.
Okay, you speak to George.
And you just stay in whatever cloud cuckoo land you were in. Conte, George. Obviously, he's come out and said he's spoken. He went over to the Spurs fans today and went right up close to salute them. But I think that's where Fulham's dressing ground is, so he's got to pass them anyway. What do you think of how he managed today?
Look, if we're going through a bad spot of form, I'm a fan of Conte's, but if we're going through bad form, everybody's got to take responsibility, and same as the manager. And if we're not performing on the pitch, then he's the one in the firing line. He's the one taking the press conferences. It was an okay performance, I would say, more so in the second half than the first. I thought I was just getting ready for Fulham to score really during that first half. I think the goal at the end of the first half really did a bit of damage. A bit of uncertainty started creeping in there with Fulham, and they stopped. I mean, I thought they were very, very aggressive going into the tackles. We were trying to match them, and again, you could just see a sending off happening. How a sending off didn't happen actually was a bit, strange. But look, I'll take the win. As I said, hopefully it builds up a bit of momentum. I think Sonny is a huge concern really at the moment. I think if anything, we've got to be looking to see what is causing this bad rut of form. He just seems totally devoid of confidence and any sort of. He's a shadow of what he was last season. It's just, I don't know what's happened. It's like somebody's thrown a switch and he's just become a different player. So hopefully, he can do something in order to inspire himself again. But it doesn't look good at the moment.
There you go. You got anything to ask, Nicholas?
No, I was just saying. We was talking about what's going to happen if we get top 4. I'm getting Emerson's hairdo.
I swear to God,
I'm saying it. I'm saying it now.
You do realise I was in that exact chair when I said if Conte signs, I'll get the tattoo.
Yeah, okay.
So you said it in the right chair. You said it in the right place.
I'm getting his haircut.
And I'm very happy that you've said that in front of how many people watching? 383?
I don't care.
That's all good. Although you're going to have to grow your hair a bit to get
Yeah.
You're going to have to grow.
I'll get the lines. I'll get the I'm not going to go full-on shepherd's pie because it will look silly. But I'm going.
That's what will look silly.
The old zigzags, everything. I'm going full in Emerson.
I've never wanted top 4. I've never wanted top 4.
Exactly.
George, final question, my brother, my man. Out of the 206, I'm going to ask everyone on the fan show site. Out of the 266 goals Harry Kane has scored, which has been your favourite one?
I don't. I've got so many favourite ones. Really, I think it was a very simple one, but I'm going to go for the one that I saw that he scored against Arsenal at Wembley, which we beat Arsenal 1-0. It was quite a bland game, to be perfectly honest with you, but I was just happy on the day that we had won it and Harry Kane had scored. So I'm going to say that's my favourite goal.
There we go. There's always read. That was February the 10th, 2018, and my grandma had passed away in December, and that's her birthday. So it was the first birthday when she weren't there. It's an North London derby. I watched it in the Scotland Yard, minus 20 degrees. He scored that header, and I just started crying my eyes out for some reason because I thought about my grandma on her birthday. But yeah, that was a wonderful header. My like I said before, my favourite is another header against that team in the 2-1 win in his first one. But yeah, George, we will speak very, very soon, my man. It is always a pleasure, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Big up, George.
Thanks for doing the watching on, guys.
Pleasure, buddy.
Man.
Speak to you soon.
Great to speak to you, man.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Laura's just texted me and said you're fucking not.
Oh, no, you are. You are. No, Laura, I have to say, he has said it live on camera. When I told Ilana about the tattoos, she was like, oh, you dickhead.
Yeah, at least my hair can grow back, right?
Yeah. Shit, Laura, I'm afraid I'm going to have to overrule this. He said it live in front of 387 people now. It's happening. Okay, the next person we've got on, I think maybe the next director of football, because he's just put his whistle. He's got his suit and booted on. He's ready to go.
Do you know what though? Do you know what? Before we bring it on, isn't it funny how the two people that came over, they've now left the country and Spurs are winning?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh no, Man City. This person coming on left before Man City.
Yeah,
Bobby.
but he still had the. They had the North American vibes that was, that didn't help us.
I have to say, looking very dapper, very fresh, very new director of football. Let's bring him on. Let's bring on Dan. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Dan. Big up, Dan.
Big up, brother. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. Emerson Royale Masterclass.
Yes,
let's all get dressed for the occasion. We have to be dressed for the occasion. This doesn't happen every day.
Yes.
You are looking very dapper, sir. You are looking very dapper.
Dan, where have you been, man? Why are you looking so swish and suave? You gone for the next James Bond interview, or you've been?
No, I'm being dead serious. I had a Tottenham kid on, and I saw Emerson Royale Masterclass. I went in the closet and changed.
Are you being genuine?
I'm being so dead serious. I didn't watch along an hour before
this. This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
Okay, so
I had this kid on. I had this kid on 1 second ago. Emerson Royale Masterclass, come on.
So I've had to deal with this during this fan show. and I thought it was just situated here in the studio. But over there in Miami, people are getting changed out of their Spurs shirts.
Mate, get on board the
into
train,
their
man.
suits.
Get on board the train.
Okay. So, Dan, see that you've got changed into your, let's say, your Emerson suits. Let's talk about Emerson. What did you think today?
All right. He wasn't as crap as he usually is.
There you go.
No, but
Wasn't as
that's
crap
it.
as he usually is.
With the thing with Emerson today is that we didn't attack that much, which was disappointing. It was a 50-50 game, which when you're playing against Fulham, you usually like to think that you dominate them, but Fulham have been playing good recently. So it was both teams had a decent amount of possession. Both teams, it was very, very even. So Emerson Royale used resolute defensively. I do think he's a little bit better defensively than he is attacking-wise. It's not like he's a great defender. I just think that today he had a good defensive performance. And the one good performance and in January, we need to sign Pedro Porro and replace him.
Yep. We'll have to wait and see. But I will say it was he certainly did put in a better performance than we've normally seen. That is for sure. And what was your overall thoughts on the game entirely?
I thought it was very even. I think what separated both teams was a masterclass by Harry Kane that finished into the bottom corner to tie Jimmy Bree's record. But for me, the highlight of the game was seeing the Tottenham fans united, Levy out, Enoch out, singing the chant, even when we're winning. Absolutely love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. That was the highlight of the game. The highlight of the season for me so far, just to see that in the stands. Finally, some fan unity to be able to sing that song when we're winning. Because when we're losing, yeah, it's easy. Levy out, look at the problems. But when we're winning, to still continue to spread that message, phenomenal. I was very, very impressed by that. But
I have to say
for me, it
that
was
with that we were singing it at Crystal Palace when we were 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 up as well. But obviously,
You couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear it as
Sky
loud.
muffled
it.
It was all muffled, but today,
it was clear.
It was clear and loud, and the away fans were amazing today. We were amazing today. So big up to everyone that's gone down
They're
there.
fantastic.
Yep. They were. But what else stood out for you, Dad, in a positive or negative way? What players do you think didn't put in a good? Let's go that way. Who do you think? Like, there wasn't a lot of star performances from both teams. So who concerned you today?
I think with our luck, we were lucky that Carlos Vinicius didn't come on because he would have scored a hat trick. I was not happy with Son. I was not happy with Perisic. I've not been happy with Perisic. But for me, Perisic was not brought in to be a left wing back. I think he was brought in to be a teacher for Sessegnon to try and give as much advice as he can to Sessegnon. But at the end of the day, he has a lot more quality than what we've seen recently. In the midfield, I thought Højbjerg was better today. But yeah, Sonny is starting to become a big problem. And for me, I'd start with Richarlison. He deserves to get a few starts. But Sonny definitely, he's starting to worry me.
It is. I mean, also, what concerned me was that tackle. That was a nasty tackle he put in.
Yeah. He's lucky he didn't get a red.
Yeah, he got the red card against Chelsea, but that was next to nothing, wasn't it? Or something over nothing. I think he may have has he got another red card for Spurs? Or maybe only his one red card. But
Andre Gomez. I think the Andre Gomez.
That's right. Thank you very much, Dad.
That wasn't. Yeah.
Thank you very much. But yeah, that one was not good. It's worrying the left-hand side, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Something that I would like to say, I know we're not going to get him until next season, but Destiny Udogie, if we play a left wing back and then Perisic's normal position is left wing, and he plays a lot better for Croatia when he does play left wing.
Yeah.
So why don't we play Destiny Udogie left wing back and then play Perisic left wing when Sonny's not up to par? I think that could work out. But obviously we don't have Destiny Udogie yet, so we can't do that. But yeah, I think it's definitely starting to become a big problem. I think why were we going to pay 60 million for a forward to be a backup that when players are out of form he doesn't play? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I think Richarlison definitely should be starting. I know it's not his natural position. I know his natural position is striker, but at the same time he can do a job at left wing, and we've seen it that he can do a job at left wing. So give him a go. Sonny hasn't done. He's been ghosting throughout the whole season, and I love Sonny more than anybody. I've loved Sonny more than the next person, but he's been very, very disappointing this season. And I think Richarlison should just get a goal. Perisic, though, Attacking wise, he's been decent, but defensively he's been very, very poor. But for a left winger that's been converted to a left wing back, that's to be expected.
So we'll get onto it now. I don't think we could have done this different. That may not be your Emerson suit. That may be your witness history broken because Harry Kane is now our joint top goal scorer suit.
Laura's just
that's the real reason.
It's Dan 12, and is that his school uniform?
There we go. Yeah, but it's his Harry Kane / Emerson history making suit.
Yeah, exactly. Who'd have thought Harry Kane and Emerson? It's coming together. They're the new.
And Daniel Levy out suit.
Daniel Levy out suit, and the new.
Is that what we need to do? Or wear a suit?
Yeah, shall I come in a? No, I'm not going to come in a suit.
Maybe that's the way forward. Maybe that's the way forward.
Dan, I think the good thing is, it's like we've seen history. I think Saturday we're going to see history broken. The record's going to go on Saturday.
I don't know if he plays.
I think it will. That's the thing, though. If he plays, he will. But if he doesn't, and he just comes on, there's a chance. But it'd be unlikely, in my opinion, that he even plays.
Yeah, I think we might see Richarlison up there. I think he's got. If it was me, I'd rather rest Son than drop Kane. What about you, Dad?
I would rather rest both. I don't see why we wouldn't rest both players. They've been playing all season. Yeah, you've got Brian Hill. You can play.
That's a good point.
I'm trying to think of the bench, but rest both of them. Just give the team that has been playing all season. Give them a rest. We've got Manchester City next week. We need a lot of rest players. Hopefully, they're gonna play Arsenal, so that's something to think about because their players are gonna be tired going to our game, and we could have a chance to rest some key players on our team. Obviously, if it goes the way that we don't want it to, we're gonna have to bring on those key players on the pitch. Knowing Tottenham, it's very likely that would happen. But I see us resting a lot more players, and I don't see a reason why we'd have to go with our full strength team.
I mean, if you could see anyone out of that, I mean, we've mentioned about seeing my boy Alfie and Harvey White. Would you be happy if you saw them getting some valuable minutes?
Yeah, obviously. When it comes to starting 11, I want to be confident. It's the FA Cup, the only chance of a trophy we have left. I don't think we'll win the Champions League. I don't think we'll win the Premier League. And we're out of the Carabao Cup, obviously. So I think I would like to see us get this win comfortably. But when we're winning by 2 or we're winning by 3, I would like to see those young players, those youth players coming on. And I would absolutely love to see that. But at the same time, I don't think bringing on Kane and for him to break the record in this game, I don't think this is the right game for him to break the record. To break the record against in the FA Cup in this type of game, I wouldn't like to see it. I would like to see it against Man City at home or something like that, a big game like that. That would be phenomenal. But at the same time, it's not only that record that he's breaking; he's also getting 200 goals in the Premier League. So that's another big achievement for him. So it's a big thing for him to score the next goal. Yeah, you can see it like when the players were going down the wing when he already scored the first goal. It's like the players were looking for him to score that goal to get that record. Hopefully that doesn't become an issue because we've seen that become an issue. But yeah.
There you go. Final question that I'm asking everyone is your favourite Harry Kane goal out of the 266 he has scored?
The one that helped me become a Tottenham.
No.
Oh, Duff. What?
Duff,
My God.
Duff,
the one that made you
Duff,
become a
Duff.
Tottenham supporter, I'm guessing.
I'm going to say Marskov.
Look at. No, he said the one that made me a Tottenham. I think it's to say. Oh, the absolute.
Dan, you have to put it in the chat, man,
Yeah,
or send Brian a message because we've lost you. We've lost you. I think he's going to say North London derby, ripping the mask off, curler. That's what I think he's going to say.
Dan, if you're still watching this and you're still able to see it, then please send it to me in WhatsApp.
His mum and dad have cut the internet after they. You know what happened about is the hole in the wall. They didn't know about it, and I said, "How's the hole in the wall, Dan?" Right in front of his mum and dad.
Oh, they didn't know about it.
No.
You snitch. Oh,
Snitches
dear.
Get stitches.
Oh dear. Or get their internet cut.
Or get their internet cut. Yeah, exactly. Right. Who's next to run the gauntlet to praise Emerson?
Okay. He's doing his warm-up exercises before he
he's
comes
getting
on.
ready. Brian, I can't wait to talk about Emerson. He was the best player on the pitch.
Here we go.
It's Mikey.
Haven't spoken to him for a while. Big up, Mikey. How you doing?
I'm good. I've just been busy, mother effing busy. But I've still made time for Tottenham. My five-a-side team were playing tonight, and I said, no, I can't go. I've got a match to watch. So they won without me, but it's good because Tottenham won with me. So that's good as well. I thought it was a fairly evenly contested match. It really could have gone either way. I'm glad it went our way. And I'm glad we have Mr. Harry Edward Kane, MBE, as our starting number 10 and starting number 9 and starting number 8. So that works as well.
Yeah, talk to me about it. I mean, obviously the great thing with him, he didn't have a lot to do in the game, but when it mattered and we needed something, one chance, one shot, one goal. Thank you very much. Harry Kane does Harry Kane things. And it's a brilliant finish, isn't it?
I mean, in essence, it was kind of exactly the game that I just watched was exactly the same game as the Portsmouth one, 1-0 win, Harry Kane curler, and an evenly contested game. It was pretty much a carbon copy. But, ultimately this game, 3 points off third place. Let's not talk about the games in hand that they have, but 3 points off third place is great. That makes good reading for any Tottenham fan, given our troubled start to the season. But I'm just happy for a win. I'm just happy after losing against first and second. I'm just happy to come through for a win. And it is important for us to build up a head of steam. But we've got Preston in the FA Cup, and then we've got to play City again. That's not great timing. But let's hope we can do something at home to upset the apple cart. But obviously, any lost points for City is handed points to Arsenal. So
it's the catch-22, isn't it?
Then if we go and win the Champions League, then it's going to be no. Shut up. Yeah.
Shut up. I just I want to know what delusional medication you're on because
Water,
today
mate. Highland Spring.
There you go. There you go.
There must be something in the water then.
I really think there is. Only Nick's water. But what were your other thoughts on the game, Mikey?
I think Emerson, I did notice he was playing a lot more centrally.
Yeah.
I think it was, Emerson was, Kulu was taking up those right spaces. And I've heard a lot of people come on here and say that Kulu had a bad game. I don't think he had a great game, but I don't think his game was as bad as people were making out. He looked, I think, at least for large parts of the game, the most dangerous player we had on the pitch in terms of like chance creation. But maybe other people won't agree with me on that. But I think he didn't look, the quality wasn't there, but he looked dangerous. And I guess that's my praise for Kula. But it allowed Kulusevski to take up really those spaces on the right hand side that he didn't have to cut inside. He was able to stick to the right hand side, and Emerson was playing a little bit more now, almost like an inverted fullback, if you will. And was kind of taking up positions within the midfield. And I saw Bentancur and Højbjerg sort of chug out to the right on occasion while Emerson moved in field. And it seemed to work ever so slightly today. So that's a good thing. And I am, I was praying that Dan wouldn't mention Destiny Udogie, so I look like I'm a genius for bringing him up. But alas, I've stolen someone's thunder. Everyone's saying I'm just waiting for Udogie to come in. He's been the best attacking fullback in Serie A this season. He's been absolutely outstanding. I think he's got a good number of goals and assists, and he's got the explosiveness. Sessegnon is injury prone. Udogie has that explosiveness and that directness that we've been missing in a fullback since Kyle Walker left. So
yeah, I've got to say I'm very, very excited to see Destiny come next season. He does look like we have got a real prospect on our. Yeah, he does. We've had Sessegnon. We've had, like you said, both left and right side. We've gone through players trying to find the replacement for Walker and Rose, and obviously we're unsure about Spence. Obviously, we thought as fans he's going to come in and he'll be the one, but obviously we know what we know at the moment. But for Destiny Udogie, I am very excited to see what he brings. Very excited.
if the reports are to be believed from Gianluca Di Marzio and Ali Gold and David Ornstein, that Conte is more likely to leave than to go. If we were to go on the presumed situation that Conte was to go, and someone like, not to confirm this obviously, but if someone like a Pochettino or a project manager, not a success. I said on the last stream that I came on that Tottenham are not built for instant success right now. We need a project. We need a rebuild. Even we had a win today. Let it not be forgotten how much dross we still have in our ranks. When Eric Dyer, Ben Davis, when players like this still have starting roles, and I get they've performed better than expected, but they're better than expected is still nowhere near the levels of Gabriel and Saliba right across North London. They picked up a bargain. Everyone thought Saliba was a flop. He's come in, given a chance, and look what he's doing. He's been arguably the best centre-back in world football this season.
Whoa, that's a bold statement.
I haven't seen enough of other leagues to confirm that, but from what I can tell, outside of Napoli, whose centre-backs have been on smoke this season, Arsenal have the best defense, one of the best defensive records, in no small part due to their centre-back partnership. So, he's looked like a real class act, and that is where the difference is for me. Our central defence, we've got Udoji, we've got Spence. If a project manager was to come in and give Spence not even a run, just a run out, just a 90 minutes, just a start somewhere, I pray that he starts against Preston, but this game has Matt Doherty written all over it. If Emerson started tonight, it's presumed that Matt Doherty will start against Preston, and I just want to see a Spence start. Yeah, he had the opportunity against Portsmouth. He has the opportunity against Preston. Just a start. It doesn't have to be against Man City. Just a start somewhere, so that the fans can see what Conte sees. Or if he plays brilliantly, then he would have proved Conte wrong and give him a chance. But
it's win-win that way, isn't it, Mikey? It's win-win.
Because,
either. God.
No, because it's like, if he is as unprepared and as bad as, well, not bad, if he is as unprepared as Conte has led us to believe, then, he's played against, he was brilliant against championship level opposition last season. And I don't know where Preston play. I don't know if they're in League One or the Championship, but it would be at the level that he's used to playing at right now in his career. So surely it would be giving him an opportunity to thrive, especially in a 3-back with a wing-back system. But, Udoji and Spence moving forward would be if they perform well, would be, that would be my looking towards the future for a full-back pairing. But, under Conte, that's not going to happen. And if Conte looks like he's going to leave, which it looks like he might, touch wood, he doesn't. But if he does, I don't think it would be the worst decision in the world for Tottenham. It would showcase how bad the ownership is. We've had managers like Jose, and we sacked Jose, but if Conte leaves, it will show that our club is not an attractive prospect for a top level manager to stay at. He would have walked out on us, and that will firmly put the fans, if they're not already, away from the ownership. And bringing back someone like Poch, a project manager for the future, I think would be, not Poch himself, but a project manager, a younger manager, wouldn't be such a poor idea. Look what Arsenal did. They had to endure 2 8th place finishes, but now they're competing. They're runaway league leaders. Yeah. It's unfortunate to say, but their model for success is, it's proving very, very well very well thought out and very methodical, which hurts from a Tottenham point of view. But you can't credit where credit's due. They're doing exceptionally.
There you go. So, Mikey, the question I'm asking every single person. Dan still hasn't got back. Maybe he's got a complete Wi-Fi blockout or internet connection. Out of the 266 goals Harry Kane has scored for Tottenham, which is your favourite?
I think this is a goal that often gets unnoticed because of the Puskás award-winning goal in the same game. But his outside of the box goal against Burnley, where he struck it absolutely sweetly and beat Nick Pope at his near post, that game is remembered for the Son Puskás award-winning goal, and rightly so. But I think the technique and power on that strike is absolutely outstanding, and that is probably my favourite goal that I've seen Harry Kane score, is that amazing goal against Burnley. So that would be my pick. But obviously, contender is the Arsenal curler, and many goals that he scored in big games for us.
Yeah, well, do you know what? That's the first time the Burnley goal. We did get that in the watchdog, did we? No one said that one.
No.
So there we go, Mikey. Listen, always a pleasure speaking to you, buddy.
You too, Brian.
Big up, Mikey.
Have
See
a
you
good
guys.
evening. See you
See
later.
you later.
So
Burnley.
there we go. So that was a new one, Burnley. That was a great goal. It was a great goal. Absolutely put his laces through it. It was a stunning long-range strike, which we know he has in his locker.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So, any super chats coming or anything? Not that I've seen any. I don't know.
No, I don't think there is. There's 364 people watching, only 91 likes.
Made that 92. I forgot to like it.
Unbelievable.
So I know. But let's bring on the next guest.
Absolutely.
And it's someone from Denver, Colorado. He knows it's him now. Here he comes. It's Leo from Mile High Hotspur. Leo, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, you guys? How's everybody doing?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Anytime we win, it's a good feeling. Even though if it's a scrappy win like it was today, it's still a win. Excuse me. But the first thing I want to start off by saying is it looked like we were out there with 10 men. I don't know what is going on with Heung-min Son. I hate to say this because it always opens up a can of worms, but
Yeah.
I don't know where the man has disappeared to, you guys.
What do you? Okay, so obviously, if we look at it, finishes last season, Golden Boot winner, everything's happy. Champions League, here we come, everything happy. And then we go into this season. Obviously, started off poorly. Then comes on, gets the hat trick against Leicester, the stunning hat trick, 2 of the goals stunning.
Yeah.
Then everyone's like, right, he's going to kick on from here. Didn't kick off, got that volley against, was it Frankfurt in the Champions League? Yeah, it was Frankfurt. And then people thought, okay, here we go. Then obviously went on another bad run of form, and then he got the goal away to Palace. Everyone thought, right, here we go. But this has just been a constant all season. Yes, there's been parts where he's been involved in games, but I saw a stat from before today's game. In the last 15 games in the Premier League only, he has 1 goal, 1 assist, and 1 big chance created. So what do you reckon what if you had to say there's a reason you could pinpoint, what would you think it was?
Yeah. Look, I think there's probably a few variables there. I think he's played a lot of football this year. He's played a lot of football. He was first to South Korea, to get everything ready and welcome his mates in. So he hasn't stopped going. He went to the World Cup. Granted, they didn't go too deep, but they played a game more than most players did. And when Kane wasn't firing on all cylinders last season, he was the one that was carrying us, right? I mean, like you said, he Golden Boot winner last year. I think I hate to say this because I'm 35 myself. I just know when I turned 30, I wasn't as fast as I was when I was 29. You know what I mean? So I know this guy's a professional athlete. I know his job. He needs to run a lot, but his first touch is letting him down. His pace is not exactly what we're used to. Whether he could find that back or not, I don't think so, you guys. I've gone on different streams and had different conversations saying that I firmly believe the Heung-min Son that I fell in love with watching at Tottenham Hotspur is just I'm not gonna see that again, you guys, and that's my personal opinion. I just think that, I get told, what is it? Form is
Temporary, class is permanent.
Yeah, and he's not proven that, you guys. You know what I mean? He's just not proven that. And I like Danny said, like Dan said, I'm also one of the biggest Sonny fans, and I want nothing more than to see our guy just, hit them levels again. But I've been saying that all year. And we're halfway through the season, and it's still the same outcome. Yeah, he had to come off the bench to score that hat trick, which by all means, hats off to you, Sonny. Like that was a super performance. But then just to have one more Premier League goal since then, um, there's something going on there. And his first touch, like I alluded to, his first touch is letting him down. Um, I don't know if what his dad said in the summer has anything to do with his psyche. You remember how his dad had mentioned something about,
Yep.
if my son wants to become world class, then he might need to think about a bigger step. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if that's in the back of his head. I don't know if you guys remember Jurgen Klopp got into his ear, and then there was this whole, chitter chat about maybe, Jurgen Klopp planted a seed. I don't know. I don't want to think of any of our good players playing for a rival team, but something's got to give, you guys. Something has got to give, and I think he needs to sit on the bench. I'm not saying because he's the worst player that we have. I just feel like if Richie, I don't know if he's 100% fit, but if he is 100% fit, then I think we need to start thinking about maybe him playing instead of Sonny, at least for a game or two. And the same thing could be said for Hugo Lloris, who by all means today proved me wrong. He didn't let a blunder in today. Thank goodness. Well, that's a different topic for a different day. Um, but to keep going along, Romero. I think by far this was his worst game that he's played for us. I don't know what he was thinking trying to get that boot that high. He easily could have gotten sent off had they went to VAR on that, which I'm glad they didn't.
They did,
And I
Leo.
was
They did. VAR did look at it.
what was that?
VAR did look at it. That's Son's challenge, and they didn't. They said there was no further action, which was surprising.
I think it's about Romero's.
Yeah, yeah.
Romero's high
And
boot.
look, guys. Yeah, his high boot. Yeah. Before the game too, I was trying to move some monies around so that I could place a betting that Romero would get a yellow card, and for some reason I couldn't do it today. And I'm just like, man, this was a day when I knew that Romero for some reason was going to get a yellow card. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Is he missing the City game now due to
No.
accumulation of yellow cards?
No, it
No?
reset. It
Okay.
resets. It resets after the game week 19, and then it then goes to 10. So yeah, it's got five more he can get.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to need each and every one of those games to accumulate those because he's going to accumulate them, guys.
Yeah, I
So,
must say, Romero, put about Romero getting a yellow card is like easy money. Is easy money.
for
It's
sure. I think the payout is very minimal now because it's something that you're going to get your money back on that. But look, guys, I think Harry Kane showed to us that he did not want to lose this game today. He grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and scored that goal literally by himself. I mean, I think, okay, now I've got to retract my statements because Sonny gave him the ball to make that shot, right? But still, that was a freaking striker's goal right there that he scored. That's a goal that we're accustomed to seeing, one that's up there with the greats, and I'll wait for you to ask the question when we're done, and I will answer. But that is an excellent goal, to match Jimmy Greaves' record. And you could definitely tell that he did not want to lose this game. If any of our players are really, really frustrated, I think with everything going on, he has got to be probably the most upset and frustrated player in that locker room. Because a lot of things really depend, and we rely a lot on Harry Kane, even to drop back and to toss the ball out to either Emerson Royale or to Kulu, because I think he kind of favors going that way on the attack. And so, yeah, Harry Kane, big up to you. I want to say big up to Emerson. I mean, God, that's the first time this whole season I've said that. Emerson, I think it's about time that he put in a professional footballer's performance. And that's the first time all year that I think I could say that without wanting to barf. And so, yeah, he did pretty good. He played his role. It's funny how George kind of mentioned the Poro links and how maybe he's trying to fight for his place. Man, if that's what it takes, let's be linked with Dumfries. Let's be linked with everybody on the right side under the sun to see if our players pick up the slack. Maybe we could get linked with a couple of center backs too and see what happens there. But as far as the overall performance goes, I almost fell asleep during the first half. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm just glad that we were able to pull out this victory. And I don't know if you guys heard Antonio Conte's comments about he said, we just don't have the nastiness that we had last season to us. And this game was a nasty game. This game was a nasty one that we had to win. And
That's what Kaylee
I'm
wanted,
glad
wasn't
that
it?
Conte. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it ended the way it did. Just a London derby. A lot to fight for, you guys. Let's not remember this could have been a 6-point game. Had they won us, they leap us. And now we're down a position. So we put some wiggle room there between them. An excellent Fulham team, dare I say that, who have an excellent manager that's doing really good with them right now. They're on form. We had to play a gritty, grimy game to get the result that we did, and guys, it turned out to be in our favor. So big up to the team. And yeah, I look forward to playing who is it, Preston North End come the weekend. Hopefully we could gain some momentum when we play against City. They left a sour taste in our mouth after the last game, so I'm hoping that we can definitely come back and show them what it's like to visit the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and not walk away with points. So other than that, you guys, I'm sorry for not coming on and saying hello to both of you. So hello, you guys. How you guys doing?
Oh, hello. Hello, sir. Hello. Let's start this all again. Let's do this properly. But yeah, Leo, favourite Harry Kane goal, my friend?
Yeah. Look, you guys, I know this is the cliche goal. Nick, you probably know where I'm going with this by saying that it has to be the mask off.
You give me some,
every
mate.
time I see.
Sorry, no, every time Emerson gets mentioned or a mask, I just get this really alluring look from Nick. And it's
Get on board, Brian. I'm telling you, get on board, my friend.
I'm not disputing the greatness of the goal. I'm just saying it's not my favourite. It's a quality goal. It's just not my favourite.
And that's fine. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
That's fine, but me and Leo are right and you're wrong, so it's fine. It doesn't matter, but we're right and you're wrong, Brian, so it's fine.
I just didn't want to say that, Nick, but I'm glad you did, bro. And look, hear me out. It's not necessarily the difficulty of the goal, because that is a tough goal to bend around the keeper. It's the emotion that Harry Kane displayed after scoring that goal, because he knows exactly what a North London derby means to him. Ripping off that face mask, running to the corner. You could just see the excitement in his face and the way he's running, and his mates, that go and hug him and everything like that. Like, that is what captures it for me. Brian, I think I've told you this before. I'm such a passionate Spurs fan that when I get talking to people about Spurs that are just as passionate as the club as I am, I love it. And that's what I see in that goal celebration from Harry Kane, is the passion, the love for the badge, and yeah, that is what seals it. Like I said, it's not necessarily the difficulty of the goal, the beautifulness of the goal. It's how he reacted to scoring that goal. That makes it my favorite. And I love the jersey, by the way. That jersey that we wore that season is by far my favorite jersey too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Big up, Leo.
Leo, big your channel up whilst you're here. Tell everyone about your channel, where they can find you.
Yeah. So this is actually my first time on with the post-match fan show. It actually lined up, and I'm happy to invite anybody and everybody to visit my channel called Mile High Hotspur on YouTube, and we're also Mile High Hotspur on all the social media platforms. I co-host a show with my partner Parker, who is my co-host, and we're just really excited about growing. The Tottenham community is definitely it's a nice place. You guys have all embraced me with open arms, and I'm grateful for it, and I highly encourage you guys to check out my channel, Mile High Hotspur.
There you go. Leo. Well, Leo, always a pleasure, brother, and we'll speak real soon.
Of course. Leave it out.
There you go. Leave it out. There we go.
Someone's made you happy tonight.
Oh, mate, I'm happy. I'm happy, but it's nice to see that.
Okay.
It's nice to see it with me being on this side of the desk rather than me being there.
Yeah.
Before we bring on the next guest, we got a super chat from Bobsper. The whole give Son time narrative is exactly the reason why we failed to move forward. No one is saying he's plump, but he's been poor. Fact, drop him. And I agree with every single word he just said.
And big up to Brandon Troller. Welcome to Gold. But let's keep going with the callers. More to the fact that we don't want to be here all night. But
well, for the person that's coming on now, he's a couple of hours ahead of us. And it's actually Bukatov, because it's morning in Israel. So I'm going to say big up to my brother, my Aki. Big up, Abeer. Let's get him on. Bukatov, Aki.
How are we, lads? How are we?
I'm better than the last time I saw you, Abeer, right? Because we were here for the England-France game, yeah?
That's for damn sure. Let's not go back to that night, eh?
Okay, yeah. Let's not. Let's look forward. Let's look forward to Spurs getting top 4, Emerson getting more man of the match performances.
I'm going to let Nick take over from it.
Tell it your thoughts, Abeer, on the game, man.
Look, I thought it was a real struggle. It was a real fight. Fulham made it a nasty game, and we gave it back to them. And Harry Kane, he's the decision maker. At the end of the day, if we didn't have him, it'd probably be a 0-0. You know what I mean? That little bit of magic just got us over the line today, which I'm, absolutely delighted about. Because I was saying on the Irish Hotspur stream before that this match was key for us to get 3 points, not just for the position that we're in the table and we're just a few points off Newcastle and United, but also in terms of our confidence going into Preston on Saturday. I really want to see us make a run for this cup. So I think, all round, good 3 points, got it in the bag. But we're still miles behind the big boys,
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, it was a gritty performance,
Very gritty.
But it was something that we needed to do. Obviously we've got a bit of a break now coming with Preston on Saturday. What changes would you make, or who would you rest? Because we need to think about. Do we need to think about prioritisation, or do we look at the FA Cup as a chance to win a trophy?
Oh, it's a chance to win a trophy, big time. That used to be our trophy. When I was a kid, we'd won more of them than the other lot across the road. So, I think we should be battling for it. I'd give Sonny a break. I'd put Richie up there. If he's fully fit, get Richie in the team, see what he can do from the kickoff. And, give Sonny a little break. It'd be nice to see a bit more of Gil and Sarr and these kind of players, in the FA Cup, but it's up to Conte at the end of the day. He's gonna put the 11 out there. But we should go up to Preston now, full of confidence. Harry Kane will probably, break the record up there, and happy days. We'll be in the 5th round.
Let's hope so. I mean, a lot of Premier League teams have gone out because they've been faced against each other. Another few big ones could potentially be going out because of this round. This could open up for us like the World Cup did for England in Russia. This could open up for us. So
100%, Daegu.
Got to attack it, but like I said, what it's coming down to is obviously the strength in depth. Who can he rotate? Who can he rest? Who can he give minutes to? So this is like people have said. Listen, we are still in the Champions League. I don't think we're winning it. Over to my right, someone believes we might do.
You've got to believe, man. If you don't believe, what is the point, man? What's the point in going to AC Milan on Valentine's Day? Look how romantic it is. Going to Italy, Valentine's Day.
Are you going?
No, of course not. Are you stupid? I'm not I just got married. Again, I don't want to get divorced.
Yeah, this is true.
Come on, man. I'm not. Let's not be sick. But I will be going to Istanbul, mate. Let's just put it that way.
But he's got to. This is the thing. The FA Cup and the Champions League will be coming thick and fast now. So they're the two. Okay, they're the two cups we can realistically win at the moment. We're not winning the Premier League. Let's face facts. He's got to start looking at it, or you'd hope he'd start looking at it and start prioritising those games. Wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And look, Barry, Nick, Ranjit, if we get to Istanbul, I'll be right there with you. I'll be right there with you.
Come on.
We've got the rooms. We've got the rooms.
But look, just going back to the FA Cup, look, Man City or Arsenal, one of them are going out. Brighton or Liverpool, one of them are going out. I mean, if I'm calling it now, hopefully my wife's not listening, but I'm thinking Brighton are going to go through there, right? So because they're playing at home, then you've got Man United still in it, and then really that's it, right? So we've then got to start thinking about, if the Man United game wanted, them they get the winner of Brighton or Liverpool, or they get the winner of Man City, Arsenal. There's not going to be many Premier League teams left in it, and then that's when we need to start thinking and believing.
Yeah.
We could look. We need to. She heard me.
Yep, you're in trouble. So
She
yeah,
heard me. She heard me. I'm listening, and
We're in the doghouse.
she said I'm listening, and rude words to me. So yeah.
yeah. Welcome to the marriage club. Welcome to the marriage club. Going back to today as well. What stood out for you? Obviously, we spoke Harry Kane. You can speak Emerson and make this one very, very happy. Possibly giddy. What else stood out for you?
Well, Emerson, obviously, that's the best he's played in a Spurs shirt by far. Going forward and defending, he was good both ends of the pitch. I thought Rodrigo being back in there, it's his second game back now. He's just pure class, to be honest with you. Very silky, and I'd be very interested to see how he does with a 3 in midfield at some point, because I think that could really benefit him. Also progressing the ball a little bit more and getting into those spaces in the midfield and feeding the likes of Kane and Sonny and Kulu and Richie and those guys. So I think he was a big plus for us. Romero, he started the game a bit dodgy, I thought, but then he worked his way into it and got his customary yellow if he nearly took your man's head off there. So that was good. That was good, showing the fight. And look, I got to praise our captain Hugo, because he has made terrible mistakes in the last couple of games, but he shored up the ship, and he didn't have anything too much to do, but he made a couple of saves. And Solomon there at the end, I don't know if it was going in or not, but it was still a decent effort from the young lad. So I've got to praise Hugo as well.
Yeah, I've got to say, I said to Nick when Solomon came on, you and me know quite a bit about him, and he came on and at one instant he almost sets up a clear chance for Fulham. Thankfully, it didn't go off. You say Hugo. Thankfully, those shots were straight at him, weren't they? But he made. There's the one that he palmed off for a throw in. It was a much more Hugo-like performance, wasn't it? He just did what he had to do. I think there's only a couple of times he really only played it from the back as well. A lot of the time he was rolling it out or hoofing it out.
Hoofing. Back to animals and horses, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, yes, yes. That's okay. We can add horses to the list of animals now. Okay, penguins, wolves, sheep, and horses. Now, this is a really weird show. But yes, so Hugo was better. What do you think of Dyron Davies?
Well, I think they did all right. Defensively, the one thing that I wanted from this game, apart from the 3 points, was a clean sheet. So the fact that they've managed to do that, it shows that whatever Conte said to them in the week about mistakes and about paying attention for the whole 90 minutes, it's obviously done the trick, because they did shore up that defense. I can't remember too many Fulham opportunities. Mitrovic had a couple of headers, which he's always going to get against any defense. So I think Dyron Davies did all right today. They did all right, and if they can, to the end of the season, if they can show the form that they showed towards the end of last season, I'll be happy with that, as long as the club's looking at replacements and bringing in some real talent there at the back to shore things up. Because
we're always looking at me. We're always looking. It's whether we actually
looking isn't good enough, David. Looking isn't good enough. Do you know what I mean? You look at the players that are being signed. The Gooners went out and signed Trossard. Chelsea went in and bought this Mudryk. United, City, they've basically got 2 teams on there. So people are strengthening, and this is why we're in a tricky position. We got Paratici, who we don't know if he's going to prison or not. It's It's a tricky
Well,
one.
we're gonna have some more news in 9 days' time from a lot of things. The Paratici, the amount of money that we've made. So yeah, it's all gonna be interesting. But yeah, Brian, you want to ask me your question?
Yeah, I'll answer the golden question. I am 266 goals. 2 players in Tottenham Hotspur have scored. One of them we have got to witness. Harry Kane. Which is your favourite Harry Kane goal?
Do you know what? It's such a tough one because so many of them have been so good and you know it's so important. But I'm gonna go with his strike against Chelsea back in 2015. You remember the five? Was it 5-3?
5-3.
I think it was 5-3. Yeah, where he came in off the left, jinked past a couple of players, and then just rocketed it into the bottom corner. That was a real cracker.
You got to remember as well that goal. I remember that was when Jose Mourinho's Chelsea were romping to the league. That was the toughest defence in Europe at the time. There was like the John Terry, I can't remember who John Terry's partner was there, but he just went through. Sorry, Sally? Who?
Cahill.
Yeah, it might have been Cahill, yeah. And just literally bullied them, and that was obviously the one season wonder. So yeah, that's I said to you, didn't I? I was surprised no one said that one. And now someone has said it. Abeer, always a pleasure, Aki.
Take it easy, lads. Good
Big
seeing
up,
you all.
Abeer.
Always a
Good to
pleasure,
see you,
brother.
man.
See you soon.
Take it.
See you later, brother.
Right, let's rinse through these. There's 4 more people in the back room. Let's get through these as quickly as possible. And it's me.
It's me. It's KPV.
And he's live.
How you doing, KPV?
I'm good, lad. All good.
You unblocked me yet, KPV?
Barry, shut up, man. I've not blocked you. How many times do I have to tell you, mate?
I can't see you, man. I can't see
I've never
you.
blocked you, mate.
Yeah.
You can see me now, boys. But, yeah, what's going on, lad? And I'm going to ask Brian the same question I did in September. Can everyone remind me who were the players that played for both Tottenham and Fulham?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sean Davies.
Yeah.
Alan Mullery.
Yeah. Gazaniga.
Steve Malbronk.
Yeah, don't forget Gazaniga as
Clint
well.
Dempsey.
Clint Dempsey. That's a good one.
Musa Dembele.
Oh, shit. How did I not come up with him first? Shit.
Lewis Holtby.
Oh, Lewis Holtby. Do.
He's the one who actually scored away at Fulham against them for Tottenham.
He did. I remember right at the end of the game. Anyone else?
Gazaniga. He was on loan there last season.
There you go. There you go. But talking about this season, what do you think of the game today?
I was in a pub watching it, so I have to say, we've now done a double over Fulham. They can't beat us, and their manager has only beaten Conte once, and that was at Chelsea when he was at Watford. But I have to say, home and away, Kane just loves scoring in London derbies. He's the king. And home and away, great win, 2-1 win at home, and a clean sheet finally against them since 2021 when Scott Parker moaned about Scott Parker as well. I forgot him. He also played, but he was a manager. But yeah, as I just said, he moaned about when their goal was ruled out for offside because of a handball. Quit moaning,
Vinicius.
you quit. Vinicius, shit.
Well done, Bob Spur.
Berbatov, Bobby Zamora.
Oh,
Those
Jesus,
two
KP,
guys,
you keep coming out. You're gonna have to buy everyone around with this, mate. You come on with these questions, and you've got more of them wrong than you have right, mate. You start listing them, and then the next thing you know, it's about another 20 players.
But yeah, as I said, Scott Parker moaned about when the goal was ruled out for offside because the handball. Quit moaning, kid. You were great for Tottenham, but you should know that it was a handball. Yeah, apparently VR got it wrong, but seriously, mate, we beat you 1-0, and people remember rightly we won at Craven Cottage when Harry Winks scored in stoppage time, and Martin Tyler said they've got Harry when they need one, but it's not Harry Kane, it's Harry Winks. And so Kane has now scored 2 times, but like we just love beating Fulham. As you probably saw on the screen, the last time they beat us at Craven Cottage was 2008 when Andy Johnson scored.
The last
So-
time we won a trophy as well, KBV.
Yeah.
So let's not
that was
start
2008,
crowing
man.
about 2008.
All right, fella, I'll get you that. But the game tonight, brilliant game, and Brian doesn't understand that Kane had a good game and he doesn't deserve to be man of the match. Well,
No, he doesn't,
I
KPV. There's only
disagree
one
with that.
person who deserves to be man of the match, and that's Emerson the GOAT, mate.
I don't think he is man of the match, Carl. I don't think I'm the only one as well. I understand why they
You
gave
mean-
it to him.
Look, fella, the guy has got more goals than Emerson, and it's Emerson Chicken Royale, in the words of David Harris.
Right, cut.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
Sonny,
Kyle.
cut this jabroni off, man. I
Kyle,
can't
Kyle.
listen to this.
Kyle, just because he scored more goals than Emerson doesn't mean he's man of the match.
Well, you're too late, fella. There's nothing we can do about it. So just get over it. It's done. We got Preston, and everyone, I've got some news to bring.
Okay, breaking news.
A Preston fan, his name's James Leeds, and he said if it's a draw, he'll take me and a friend of mine to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the home
replay.
leg. And we play, yeah. He said, like, if I can't go to the game, he'll pay for the tickets, and my friend Steve, who's a Spurs fan, will take me, and the guy will pay for the ticket for hospitality. So, woohoo! Thanks for that, James.
So you
Leeds.
want to draw then, KPV? Right. So, this is outrageous, right? Brian, ask him
No,
what his
not
favourite goal
me.
is, and let's move on because
Barry.
KPV's getting me angry, man.
Barry, Barry, I don't. He does. The guy wants to draw. I don't. He does. So I don't want to draw. And as Troy Parrott can't play because he's on loan, so we'll have to watch. And so, but as Brian said, there's going to be more Premier League teams going out. Obviously, the league leaders are going to lose to City because they're getting knocked out. And I don't want a Premier League team in the next round against us because we always seem to lose. Like, you don't want a Premier League team. Who else is in there? Any Championship, League One teams? I don't mind them.
Yeah,
There's
well,
playing
there's,
up.
well, there's plenty, Carl. There's plenty.
as Nick is just finding out that information, we'll give you the live or the actual teams that are still in the FA
I
Cup.
mean, I quite like Boreham Wood, if I'm honest. That'd be quite a.
Mate, they
that'd
were
be
giant
quite-
killers
Yeah.
last year.
That'd be quite good. Leeds are still in it. Leicester, Southampton, I'm just trying to think. Birmingham City, West Brom, Sunderland, Reading, Stoke.
We'll get Sunderland and Jack Clark will come
Well,
back.
we could
to
get
haunt
Rex.
us.
We could get Rex. Yeah. Well, it's bound to be because we've had Dane Scarlett and Portsmouth, Troy Parrott and Preston. So the money could be on Jack Clark and Sunderland, couldn't it? So in the next round, if Sunderland get past Fulham.
Yeah, I hope so. Sunderland, like, well, I wouldn't mind Fulham again because we'll be at home then if we win because we'll just beat them at home again like we did in September if we get Fulham, and we'll just smack them up again. Like, watch this space. And I know what Brian's going to ask. Favourite Harry Kane goal, 266. There's 3. I'm picking out the top 3.
You can't pick 3,
There's
Carl.
not-
You got to
there's not
pick
3.
1, mate. You
There's
got
not
to pick
3.
1. It's not pick 3.
I
It's
don't
pick
care
1.
what you say. I pick what I want, fella. I'm
You
picking.
pick what he wants.
He picks what he wants, KPV. He
All
picks
right.
what.
You
Also,
say
KPV.
one.
Go on. Say 1, and then
Um,
Sammy cut him off after he said 1.
Go on, let's hear
No,
it, let's hear it.
Go on,
Um,
KPV.
the one I like was that one against, I believe it was Chelsea, the 5-3, like the
Okay.
second half one. I know
the
he
second
scored in the
half one.
first half.
Okay.
Where he
The
dummied
one
to
in
shoot
the
it.
second half.
Yep.
Yeah, that one, the second half, when we won 5-3. And I think he just took it past Courtois and smashed in. But I know that's probably not the one I want, but I have to say the North London derby, the one where we won 2-0 during the pandemic, hit the crossbar, went in. That's
Oh,
probably
yeah,
the
okay,
Yeah,
best.
that's
okay.
a good goal,
After
yeah.
Son scored
That
the
North
cracker.
London derby goal. So anyone picking the North London derby where you took the mask off, fair play, but I'm sticking to one I just did. I watched Harry Kane scored, hit the crossbar, went in, and hopefully we'll be talking about Son soon as for favourite Son goals, and let's hope he can score. But Kulu, another brilliant performance, got him on the back of my shirt, but everyone look forward to Man City at home because Kulu has officially replaced Son as Man City's nightmare. So Kulu can score the goal against City,
Carl, I need to
and
ask you a question. You said you wanted to name 3 Harry Kane goals, and you named 2.
one more then. Like I said, Tottenham and I said Chelsea and Arsenal, they were at home, and the one, what else one is there?
That's
Palace at home. We won
264.
4-1. Palace, the one we won 4-1 at home. Kane, I think it was Doherty who
Ah,
got
where
the
he
assist.
where he lofted it. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great goal. That's
Bale and
actually a
Kane got
great
2
shout.
goals each. And I just want to say before I go, rest in peace, Anton Walks.
Yeah.
Great player, and fortunately, he didn't. He only made a couple of appearances, then left. But yeah, rest easy, my friend. And I want to say congratulations to Gareth Bale on a brilliant career. But my favourite Bale moment has to be when he ended Mycon's career.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go,
and
There you go.
KPV.
And also, one thing, everyone, I know Brian wants Dean Henderson, but I want Gazaniga back, people. Bring
Oh,
Gazaniga back because he never made mistakes. Hugo's been making them, but tonight he didn't. But, bring back Gazaniga because the guy never made mistakes. He made 14 saves at Anfield when those lot won the league a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, bring back Gazaniga, another Argentine. Romero will probably say so because Super Oli T's met him. So bring back Gazaniga, people. I know
yeah. I don't see
I
Gazaniga coming back, I'm afraid.
I would. I'd like him because he actually
Okay, he's coming back.
replaced Lloris for a bit when he got injured at the game against Brighton. So, but he is a brilliant goalkeeper, there's no doubt. And he never made a mistake. Only Lloris had. So, but I would love him back if we don't get any goalkeeper.
Yeah,
Dean Henderson is the one I want, as you said. So,
he's the one that you
we
want.
need to hurry up, people. If we don't get any signings, this will be the second time since 2018 we didn't sign anybody. So, hurry up, Levy. Get your checkbook out or fuck off. It's that
There we go.
simple.
What
There
a
we go,
perfect
And
Carl.
way.
as always,
There you
Levy out, Levy out, Levy out. We want Levy out, so we want Levy out.
go.
Get your ass.
I love the conduct. I love the conductor part of that.
That's
Okay,
gonna be
so,
who let the dogs out.
So, let's go on. It's someone I love speaking to. He's all primed and ready to go. Let's bring on the one and only, the Joracle. Big up, Jory. How are
Hey,
you doing,
guys.
brother?
Big up, Jory.
I'm doing good, man. What's up, Barry? You're becoming undroppable on these call-ins. You're
I know,
becoming
bit
the
like
call-in
Emerson.
Oh,
king.
Jesus. How do
I know, Jory. I know. Well, look, the green shirt is staying on now. On Saturday, I'll be wearing the same shirt. This shirt is not lost. So I had to do something tonight to break our form. So yeah, Conte.
Yeah, I
I'll
noticed.
send him a message. I'll send the message, man. Conte is going to be set.
We're
I
all
don't know,
grateful, Barry.
Yeah, we're all grateful. I know, man. I know. I was great. I was grateful. I couldn't sit here for another loss or another poor performance,
No,
Jory.
for
So
fuck's
yeah,
sake, no more
what
of
was
that,
your
yeah.
what was your take on the game, Jory?
So once again, I was happy with the game. I mean, I saw more of what I saw from our loss with Man City. I wasn't unhappy with Man City, although I was unhappy with the result. But I saw I saw Conte and Gates. I saw the squad fighting for him, and I saw or thought I saw a little bit of tweaking with some of the tactics. And tonight I saw it even more clearly. And I think what it was a scruffy game and all of that, but you still normally, like how it's been going lately, this kind of a scruffy game, it would have turned into a complete chaos in our last third, so or in our first third, like in our defensive part of the pitch, and it didn't. It was touch and go for sure. Hugo made quite a few mistakes actually, but we got away with it. But the way the defenders kept their cool and the way they kind of played out, it worked a lot better than what we've seen for many, many, many games. And I feel like, of course, Emerson, of course, which every Spurs fan has loved since he came into the club. He showed what a brilliant signing he is, and also I think Emerson was so impactful tonight also because he was going towards the center and Kulu stayed out. They kind of switch, but usually
Yeah.
Kulu is always the guy that cuts in and Emerson stays out. Now they kind of switch a little bit, and that seemed even harder for them to deal with. And what I've been saying all the time, not because I've been loving any more of the Emerson's mistakes than anybody else, but first of all, we can't blame people for who they are. They are who they are. If they get called into a job that's beyond their scope, then that's not their fault. That's Daniel Levy's fault. So let's go easy on those
Just as you mentioned the goat's name, uh, 6 duels won, 6 clearances, 5 ball recoveries, 4 tackles, 3 accurate long balls, 1 shot, and 0 fouls committed. That was Emerson's stats.
To tell you the truth, that's probably stats that he's had for the last 4 or 5 games, but he did that all today. It was a much better. Go on, Joey.
There's also the invisible stats. Like I remember one duel I saw where because Romero was kind of off his game, and Emerson very often covers for Romero. That's never going to happen with Doherty or anybody else. That's only Emerson that does that defensively. But I can't remember which player was coming down the right flank, but and Emerson got there, and he got there fast, and he got there hard. And I was just thinking to myself, Doherty would be miles away. He would be completely clear. And Emerson had the speed and the power, and the skill to get that ball off him, and because otherwise it was basically a clear cut in towards the box. So, and that's the stats you don't really see. I mean, of course, you'll see a stat that he won the duel and stuff like that, but you don't see the stat that says he is where he's supposed to be when it's the most crucial, and you won't see the stat with Doherty that says you're not where you're supposed to be, Doherty, because you're too slow or you're not reading the play correctly and so on. So, but anyway, I mean, he got the man of the match, well deserved. I also saw a lot of fire and determination in Kane. The play was so, but Kane is very determined, and I actually think the rumor now that came out today or yesterday that Kane's ready to look at a new contract. That's his way of putting his weight behind the Conte now to put added pressure on the board to back Conte, because it was caveated with if things are done the right way, I'm ready to look at a new contract, and Conte was completely engaged, and he was very passionate after the game. I saw some video clips after the game. He was very passionate. So I'm kind of optimistic now, because I think actually if we can pile on the pressure and get into like the two we're looking at, Zaniolo and Porro. Even though I want a centre back before anything, I actually really want 2 centre backs before we do anything else. But whatever Conte wants, that's fine by me. If we can do that, and we can, kind of shake off this rust now and kick on a little bit, the whole thing can be turned around. We can take an absolute shit show and make it something good again. Because it doesn't like it doesn't have to end like this. And I feel like Conte and the players and you, the fans, by the way, and big up to you, Brian. Big up to the fans at the Fulham, man. Wow, they that was all I heard. The whole game was Spurs fans singing constantly, and I think the song "Get Out of a Club" 3 times at least.
Yep.
So, and they sung Antonio twice, I think at least.
Yep.
So it was perfect for me. It was everything I wanted to see. We're not gonna revolutionize our form overnight. This is one more good step. I felt the Man City game was a step in the right direction, even though we lost. I think this is added on to that. Hopefully, Preston can now get some of the fringe players involved as well,
Yeah.
and add on to it, and our key players can get rested. Maybe even you, Barry, you can get a rest from one of the call-ins. Who knows?
No, I'll be
And,
here. I'll be here for Preston, and then
We're here for Preston.
We're here for Preston, then for Man City, and then I am going to take a rest.
I was going to be here for Man City, but there's things planned, Jory, which I'll tell you about tomorrow for Man City. So I'm now going to that game so I can be part of it. But yeah, what I will tell you, someone else also let me know via voice note before that when Sky Sports News started talking about the game like they do, one of the first things they went to was the Spurs fans chanting "Levy out," and they spoke about it. So the attention is getting there this time. It's a constant that's not going away, and like we did at Palace, it was sung whilst we were winning as well. So it's a big thing.
It's a big up to you guys, and the attention's getting there, but also the awareness and the awakening of the pundits, and of course what will follow is the casual fans, the Levy inners that are not maybe thinking too much, putting too much thought into it. They are now starting to become aware of how really cynical Levy is running this club, and how we've chosen burger sales and real estate over football again and again. So that's great. Great work, guys. And I look forward to talking to you, Brian. I have some pretty good ideas, I think, myself.
Yeah, I'll give you a message about tomorrow. We'll arrange that. But getting back to tonight, talk to me about your feelings, your thoughts, and the game from our joint record goal scorer.
I mean, the man is of course the best player that's ever been in this club, and he's going to be probably England's and the Premier League's kind of, if not, I mean, statistically, it's probably gonna be the best in every statistic, but also just as if when you think of a Premier League striker, I don't think there can be more of an archetype than Harry Kane. He's everything that you want from a Premier League striker. He's every kind of definition of why English teams often bulldozer over European teams when the European teams even cost 3 times the amount of the English teams and so on. It's because of this combination of skill, talent, and grit and fight and physicality. And Harry's got it all. So and to be honest, for me, every year that goes on, I kind of appreciate Harry Kane. For me, I feel like this Harry Kane now, in some ways, is the best Harry Kane. He's working now with the most depleted squad he's ever had to work with,
Good point.
yeah, but he himself has probably never been better in my view. It's a shame that he's not being supported by the club that he's made so many memories for, but we'll change that, hopefully. Let's hope so.
You reckon he breaks the record at Preston, or you reckon he might be dropped or rested and does it at home to Man City, please God?
I mean, he. Yeah, I would want to go for that, and he should go. Like he should just be, he's gonna break the record, no problem with that, and he should just do what's the proper thing to do, which is to get a rest. He's been playing like insanely, many minutes, and get the resting minutes that you can, and these are minutes that you should get, and also, it's more of a, of course, it's more of a statement doing it against the biggest club in world football. Breaking your record against them, and in the home stadium would be absolutely amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing Nick and I said when we were joking about before the Man City game, we said it'd be typical Spursy that he'd get a season-ending injury during that game, and then he'll leave in the summer and he'll be 1 goal behind Jimmy Greaves. Well, at least if that's to happen now, he's level.
You got to knock
with
on
Jimmy Greaves.
wood now, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. But we're hoping, sorry, he's going to break the record. He will go down as England's record goal scorer, and Tottenham Hotspurs. But Jory, the question I'm asking everyone at the end is
Yes.
favourite Harry Kane goal out of the 266. Which one is it?
So I'm gonna have to mention two because
KPV has messed this up now. Okay, well, if he can have 3, you can have 2.
I would say my favorite is the mask goal for sure, but I saw it after the fact. The other one I wanted to mention was against Juventus, the long from the middle ball over the top of the keeper, and maybe not so significant, but the amount of skill in that goal is absolutely sublime. And I watched it live, and I was complete, like I almost choked on my food when I was watching it, because I didn't see anything like that coming. So yeah, and I laughed my ass off afterwards. It was such a fun and absolutely stunning goal. You've seen many lob goals and stuff like that,
Yep.
but he actually does it as in one motion of getting the ball out of the feet of the defenders, and then launches it like almost in one single motion. And it's amazing skill that boy has got. So yeah.
Well, there we
But,
go. Well,
yeah,
Joey,
if I have to live with one of it, it's got to be the mask goal. I mean, it's the most
we go.
intense. Yeah.
there we go. Well, Joey, listen, we will speak tomorrow. I'll give you a call when I wait. I'm trying to work out the time
All
difference whether we have. Are we the same time, or you are
No,
now?
same time as UK.
Okay, cool. So I'll give you a message when I wake up, and we'll go from there, buddy. But we'll definitely speak tomorrow.
All right. Take
All
care,
right,
guys.
buddy.
Great show.
Speak to you soon, my man.
Big up,
Take
Joey.
care, buddy. Bye. Okay, so we have. I do love this man. He's the king of the hats. I haven't spoken to him for a while. He's just become a gold member again today. Let's bring on the last caller of the day, Mr. Brandon Troller. How are we doing, Brandon? Let's bring him on. 1 second, we just wait to bring you on.
Sammy's just.
There we go, Brandon. Now you're on. How are we doing, brother? You good?
Oh wow, that's quite the lag. Yeah, no, I'm feeling fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. That is quite the pink ensemble, I must say.
I appreciate it very much. I feel much better now that I know that I'm a gold member again. I didn't realize my membership had expired. I apologize profusely from the bottom of my heart. I really do. Just like Emerson Royale should be doing to the Spurs fan base for the past 18 months of his career. Bar today. Who was that? Where'd that come?
Oh, Brandon, there's a huge lag with you. I don't think we can. Can you hear us? Okay, cool. So
Can you hear me?
sorry, bro.
Yeah.
That's better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, New York City's Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, all right. So what's gonna happen with Pedro Porro? Is this gonna happen?
Well, there's Brandon. There's news tonight that Sporting stance is softening. Is the new one softening, and they may be interested in a €30 million deal plus bonuses. So who do we? What do we know? What do we know? So we just have to wait and see.
Softening, creeping, softening, prowling, interested, creeping, verbally agree to discuss. Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's a broad agreement.
We'll verbally agree to a principal pre-meeting. The name of trying to get a meeting set up. It's ridiculous. Pay the freaking clause, man. It's right there for you. It's handed on a silver platter. $45 million for something like that. Come on, give it to me now. You paid 35 for whatever Patterson. What is this? What is this nonsense?
Where did you hear that it's been softening?
Through my contacts.
Through your contacts, through your ITKs?
Through my ITKs, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, before we start going into that, actually, no, we'll deal with that first because then we can talk about Fulham. But I just need to know who said it's softening.
It's softening. That is from...
Really liking that word there.
Daily Hotspur. So yeah, just in. Sporting have been previously demanding Pedro Porro's 40 million release clause, but it's understood they may be softening in their stance. If Tottenham Hotspur can reach 30 million plus bonuses, a new round of talks are expected.
Okay, well we'll see how softened the softening is. I don't expect it to be very soft. I think from what I heard, the big problem with this is Sporting Lisbon, if it was to be instalments or whatever, and the release fee met, but in instalments, they wanted a large chunk of it up front. A large chunk of it. I don't know the exact amount, and then the rest could be instalments if the release fee was met. But Spurs wouldn't do that, so who knows? Who knows? But Brandon,
the softening. The softening. I kind of like that. It sounds like a obscure softcore porno. I mean, I guess there's just.
So, getting back to today, what was your thoughts on today's game?
Well, I took off work to watch this, and I might as well have just watched the 1 minute highlight of Harry Kane, and then if someone would have been kind enough for a headless chicken compilation of Emerson Royale, because even though he played well, he still looks like a headless chicken running out there. He has zero discernible direction where he's going. He would pop up, in the left corner flag, the right corner flag. He pop up in net. He pop up in the other net. What was he doing? I don't know, but he was flying up. He was like N'Golo Kante if N'Golo Kante had, 2 brain cells.
Wow.
I mean, it was weird. It was
right. Anyway,
it was strange to watch.
There we go. But what else stood out to you, Brandon?
Sorry?
What else stood out for you in the game? I know it wasn't a game of much, but what are you taking away from this game?
Son needs to be dropped. I love that man. I've got a few different. Every Spurs kid I have has Son on the back. Every single one. He's my favorite player. I love Harry Kane. You love your Kane. I love Gareth Bale. Youngman's Son has been my guy. He's got to be dropped. We can't. It's just like you were saying before. There's no meritocracy anymore. What is this? What is this nonsense? Right? If the man is playing at this level, there's no way that he could ever look at Richarlison in the face and say, yeah, come off the bench for 15 minutes at the end. It's just disrespectful. Richarlison lit up the World Cup, right? At least when he comes on, he shows a little bit of this, right? Sonny literally just looks like, I mean, Jack Clark's been doing well in the championship. Did we, by accident swap Son and Jack Clark when we sent him out the door? I mean, because that's to the level he's been playing. Jack Clark's been very good in the championship. We might as well have Jack Clark right now over Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son's been that bad. It's horrible to watch. It's disturbing. Oh.
Yeah, it's not been the best, and I would like to see Richarlison, but I don't see it happening. If it's going to happen, I think it will happen on Saturday, as opposed to Man City. But he definitely means well. What's your thoughts on Perisic as well, Brandon? Let's stay on the left-hand side.
I mean, my thoughts for a while have been let's bring Destiny and Doji back from loan, pay an extra $5 million. He's better. Destiny and Doji's been lighting up the Serie A this year. He's very, very good. He's not great yet, but right now we have Sessegnon, who's never proven to be above bang average at best. And we've got an aging Perisic who, while he can offer a world-class cross or two a game, that's about it anymore. His space, basically gone. It's not non-existent, but it's not nearly what it was. He's got zero defensive capability whatsoever. I mean, I don't know. It's a strange one, I think even honestly, if you're not going to play with Richarlison on the left wing, I'd be playing Perisic on the left wing right now. Maybe bring in, Destiny and Doji, put him in left wing back.
Yeah, I think we don't have. I don't think they have. I think it's set in stone that we can't do that. They won't allow it. But if I would like to see maybe Perisic play up top. But then the problem you have with that is without Destiny, you're playing Sessegnon at the back, and it's that's the issue. I would like to see Perisic, but I would have liked to have seen it whilst Richarlison was injured. So it was like, okay, then you can do that. But with Richarlison back, I'd rather see Richarlison up there because I really want this guy to get a few games under his belt. He got the few with Kulusevski out, but that was on the right, the side that is least effective. He's got to be given a chance on the left at some point, hasn't he?
I mean, it's kind of lunacy, really. I mean, you saw today he was given a chance on the left, and while he wasn't really able to commit too much into the game's historical timeline, given what was happening, the state of it all. I mean, by the way, how drab was that without those last 30 minutes of play? Oh my God, fell asleep.
I can't remember what we were talking about, but it wasn't football. I think we were taking questions, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, you were putting your super chats with sporks. What the hell was that about?
That's where my mind was wandering because I was so bored by what I was looking at with my own two eyes. I'd taken off work to go and watch this game, and I was pissed. What am I watching? Like grown men, like basically playing duck goose around me, and it's ridiculous.
So Brandon, I've got a question for you before I ask the Harry Kane question. Now, obviously, the first time we interacted and the first time we spoke was around Antonio Conte coming in. Was that the time when you came in and obviously you were drinking shots of olive oil, you were doing everything, you had your opera music in the background. What's your thoughts on obviously the rumours that he may be walking out at the end of summer? And what do you think? Where do you think Conte's future lies? Is it with Spurs or is he gone?
I think he needs to leave. This is the first time I've ever thought this, but the way he's acting right now, it's if he wants to leave, I want him to be our head footballing coach and manager. All my. But if he doesn't want that, he needs to leave right now. So we can bring in Potts, maybe get a signing or two in before the window closes. At least get a 2-week period before the City game to turn something around. Because even though we played all right today was not good enough. City are going to eat us alive again. It's disheartening. I don't know what to say. If he wants to leave, go now. Don't leave in the summer. But he's not going to do it because he wants to collect the paycheck, right? If he's going to commit his future, unfortunately, that comes with an unrealistic stipulation, which would be Daniel Levy and Mr. Lewis the incompetent chairman. They're not. Or competent owners. They're not. So what was Conte expecting coming into the situation? What was Levy expecting having Conte come into this situation?
Yep.
It's why it was so delusional when they came together, because I thought no one could be that stupid as to look at each other in the face and say, okay, you're a square peg, I'm a round hole. Let's fit together. Like it never made sense. But I was ecstatic because Conte, in my opinion, still is a top 5 coach in the world. Yes.
Well, there you go. So, Brandon.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's getting very, very laggy again. So I'm going to ask you the final question. 266 goals scored by a certain striker named Harry Edward Kane. I don't know where Howard came from. Probably slipping with penguins or whatever. Your favourite, I almost said it again, Harry Kane goal.
That free kick against the K-League team. Never laughed so hard at a goal in my life.
I didn't think a free kick goal would come up. He's only had 386 attempts and scored 2 of them. But seriously, your favourite goal?
Let's see. I've actually only ever seen one Tottenham game live in person. So had to have been the Villa game then, opening day of the Tanguy game.
Oh, Tanguy Ndombele scored. He scored. He scored a couple of that game, didn't he?
He didn't score a double, but he scored on his debut. It was against Villa opening day.
Yeah, Kane got 2.
2019. Yeah. Oh yeah, Kane. Yeah. Kane was a monster that day. But it was just great to see Spurs live, and seeing Harry Kane scoring the day, fantastic stuff.
Well, there you go. Well, Brandon, listen, brother, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. And I look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
All right. Enjoy the night, fellas.
See you later, brother.
Get home
See you
safe.
later, Brandon. Cheers, bro. Right. Well, that's...
We've had all sorts today. We've had an Emerson Royale masterclass. We've had penguins. We've had wolves. We've had sheep, and we've had horses.
And we've had Howard Kane.
And we've had Howard, Harold, Fred.
It's been good. And we're back on Saturday for more shenanigans.
We are back on Saturday for more shenanigans. Preston against Tottenham Hotspur, 6 p.m. kickoff. Big up to everyone that's joined us today for the live watch-along. I don't know what's happened to me, but look, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is... It doesn't matter. Look, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is we got 3 points. Big up to everyone for their super chats. I don't know why we've still got the headphones on. That just sums up today. But look, thank you to everyone that's put in their super chats. Thank you to everyone that's liked. We got 500 people liking before we even kicked off the game.
Yep.
So look, it's going to be an interesting game on Saturday. It's going to probably be a much changed team, but the most important thing is we try and get there, hopefully get the win, get through to the next round, and then we'll see who we're playing. Another chance to get a trophy. Obviously, the Champions League trophy. You look like you're raring.
No, I was about to say we'll also see if how soft the softening is.
How soft the softening is. Maybe by Saturday we may have signed someone, but I don't hold out much hope. Look, it's late. It's been great. Thank you all for joining us. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.